So with the current state of Football Manager 26, I'll be honest, I've spent most of my time on the tactics screen, which I love messing around with mad stuff. So today we're going to delve into that tactics screen, show you some of the maddest tactics you'll see yet in Football Manager 26. And you know what? Some of them even work. So we start here with the triple advanced centre-back tactic that I've got working at the minute called 5 knuckle. Now it looks a mess, but when the ball starts progressing it does kind of work out. So we've got triple advanced centre-backs, the old liberos, and if you've used them at all so far you'll know that they move up into defensive midfield and sometimes even further and higher up the pitch. So with us using 3 of them, you're going to say, wait a minute, does that leave nobody back? Well, that's where this man comes in, the inverted fullback. His role is to basically stick his position and then move across when the position is vacated. And just in front of the 3 advanced centre-backs is the ringer, the defensive midfielder. Now the reason why he's important to make this kind of work is because he's already there. That means these 3, one of them's going to have to stay back because it's only going to allow 3 of you to be in that DM zone. So when we start to build up, we've got our normal shape of 3 centre-backs. But when we start to progress, 2 of them move up next to the DM, 1 of them will stay back. As we get to the final third, same gig, 1 of them stays back with a little bit of support from the inverted fullback. Now I told you they were going to be stupid looking, but believe it or not, when it's in the match it actually makes a bit of sense and some teams are struggling to deal with it. So here's my early form so far, blasting some teams, couple of defeats to Villarreal and an annoying one at Braga. So after that Braga defeat I changed the way we looked in out of possession. Now if you can look at this here when Celtic are attacking us, we look pretty damn solid, don't we? We've got a back 4 across there with a bit of a shield of 4 in front of them and 2 attackers up front. Now the good thing is when you win the ball back, you're going to have loads of options to go forward. And look at the liberos absolutely legging it. Sorry, advanced centre-backs. Absolutely breaking their necks to get forward and support this attack. By the time it goes into the final third, the 2 left at the back is one of the centre-backs and the full-back and my libero team are storming like the Red Arrows to assist the strikers. So we're playing better now and the key change was, in possession we look like that, but out of possession we drop into a pretty normal looking 4-4-2. So you want to have something that in theory looks a bit mad but makes sense. By dropping into something that's pretty sensible and out of possession, it helps the team look a bit more solid. Now there is some player instructions on there as well, which is going to help the situation along with the team instructions. I'll stick all those on at the end of the video. Patrons, you've got this direct download if you want to try the carnage for yourself. Now once we've settled into this and we've got the in possession, I don't even know how you describe it, 5 at the back ish, dropping into the 4-4-2, the form went through the roof. Check this out. So following that Braga game when we changed our out of possession stuff, the form after that is pretty elite. Only a penalty defeat to Porto in the cup, and wait a minute, what's that? We did indeed get the better of Bayern Munich in the Champions League. You can see the players all bombing forward now just like the last match. There's a wing back on the right hand side going to supply the first goal. And on 65 minutes we got the second, ball down the right to the attacking midfielder. He whips it across. Easy stuff. And do you know what? It wasn't like we were lucky either. Bayern really struggled to deal with us in that one. So don't get me wrong, Sporting are a strong side domestically, but beating Bayern and going pretty well in the Champions League and also completely destroying Benfica at home. Granted, they had a man sent off, but that is pretty spectacular. So domestically we're smashing it, and in the Champions League we're in top 4. We've only lost 1 match and it looks like we're going to cruise through. It's January now, the team are getting some good chemistry together. Sporting are a great team for this because they've got centre-backs that are very capable on the ball. So out of possession, how does it work? So let's get both up and you can see we've got the 3 centre-backs there and they stay in that position, but one of them, the widest one, moves into a DM spot. It doesn't really matter which one. So when we're defending, 2 of them will run back into centre-back, 1 will stick next to the DM. The 2 full-backs just drop into a normal full-back position. The attacking midfielder covers the right-hand side for us, and the left-hand side winger just drops back a bit. Nice and simple, makes sense, and it's given us some fantastic results. So much fun. I'm going to finish the season with that and see how well we can do, especially in the Champions League. Now the next one, if you are fans of all-out attack football, this is for you. So this one has already been shared with my Patreons, and I took charge of Mallorca because I wanted an underdog team. The best part about choosing Mallorca was they wanted defensively solid football, so I gave them that. This, folks, is the GTS tactic, the go to sleep tactic that I use pretty successfully in FM24, but this time it's arguably even more potent. At the back it starts off pretty normal, a couple of centre backs, a wing back with a DM holding in front of them. However, when we're in possession, we're going to have pretty much a 5-strong strike force. 2 attacking midfielders backing up 2 centre forwards with a false 9 doing whatever the hell he wants. In build-up, we start sedate. We move to progression, it starts to crank up a little bit, and by the time we're in the final third, all bets are off. So you can probably guess, if you're going to use a tactic like this, be prepared for goals going in at both ends. I can't lie, I got a bit excited when we scored 14 in pre-season, but let's calm down because they were a weak team. And the first home game of the season, we lost at home to Atletico Madrid in a bit of a 5-goal classic. Nothing to worry about yet, because after that, results really started to pick up and we went on a great run. Once we sorted out the out of possession stuff, we started to cook big time, including this mauling of Girona. And the most impressive win yet, beating Atletico Madrid away from home 4-1. A game in which we probably screwed over Simone big time. So in this one, Atletico just could not deal with us. You can see we've got our 2 centre-backs who are the only guys who don't really move in the system alongside the central defensive midfielder. The wing-backs supply the width. Now they're backed up, supplying the width by the wide strikers. You can see that's number 7, he's the widest striker on the left, supplying a backup to the wing-back. Inside it goes, options galore, there's 3 players there to aim at now. It doesn't come off this time, but because there's so many players in the box, look at that, that's outrageous. By the time we've got the ball back, he's got so many to aim at. And the 4th goal was pretty much the exact same, swamping them, wide strikers going a little bit wider, filling the box for our best win yet. This isn't one of those videos though that's going to say this is the best tactic ever and you're going to smash everyone, because some big teams will, well, yep, that one hurt. And so did that one. But in my defence, I didn't change a thing when it came to mentality when I went to those big clubs, so I probably should have dropped it down. Who knows? So it's all well and good having an attacking formation like that, and look at the chemistry, by the way, in that front 5. That is beautiful. But how the hell do you set up an out of possession tactic for something like that? Well, this is what I've came up with. It drops into like a 4-3-3 strikerless. So we're going from the front 5, dropping into a 4-3-3 strikerless. And if you look at it, it does kind of make sense. If we get both of them up, you can see Torre drops back into central midfield, as does the other attacking midfielder to just sit in front of the DM. Wide striker goes wide, as does the second. And the false 9, because he's already going to be dropping back anyway, he's going to sit in that position there. I've made him an outlet attacking midfielder, so he's going to stick his position and be the link man when we start to counter-attack. So how was our league performance overall using that setup? Well, if it wasn't for this finish where we lost 4 out of our last 5 matches, we would have finished even higher. Having said that, we did shock the league and finish the best of the rest, finishing behind the giants of Real Madrid and Barcelona. Top 3 for Mallorca is a bit of a result in season 1 with no transfers. As for the goals, well, I did warn you, it scored 91, but it also conceded 68. But the defensive record could be fixed a little bit if I just calm down a bit when travelling to big teams. So I've showed you 2 tactics there, one with most of the players starting at the back and one with most of the players starting at the front. Now we're going to go to one side of the pitch. So we're going down one side here. We've got 3 players down the left hand side, a fullback, a playmaking winger and an inside forward. Now this edition of Football Manager, more now than ever, this kind of doesn't matter because it's all about how they progress on the ball. So it might look silly from the start, from build-up, but once you get to progression phase, everything starts to move around, and by the time we're in final third, we're pretty compact up front with width supplied by the fullbacks. Now again, domestically on this one, we were smashing it. We lost to Arsenal in the Champions League, but it was pretty tight away at Arsenal. I was quite happy with that. And we also lost a tight game away at Marseille in the Champions League as well, so nothing to worry about yet. Because domestically we were punishing teams big time. Our old friends Braga got the better of us yet again, but there was goals flying in everywhere. So the match where I thought we could be onto something though was in the Champions League when we played PSG. We went behind pretty early, but we did fire back just before half time, and the 3 down the left hand side, there they are. The furthest upfield acts like a second striker when we've got the ball. So as soon as we've got the ball, especially on this side of the pitch, he tucks right in. So when we decide to switch the ball over because we've got an overload over there, left back's there, he hasn't made his move yet. There's the guy that's a little bit further up. To the untrained eye, he just looks like a second striker. And he ended up scoring the winner against mighty PSG. This is my left-hand side 3, 1, 2 and 3. And they all combine to score this 3rd goal. And it goes to the left-hand side midfielder, back to the left back, through ball to the inside forward who's playing highest of the 3 left side players, and he scores the winner. So with this one halfway through the season, we are top of the league, we haven't lost yet. Scoring a good amount of goals and surprisingly not conceding many either. And not doing too bad in the Champions League either, just 2 defeats, 4 wins after 6 matches. So my left hand side overload's doing pretty well, so how do you construct something out of possession to make that look a bit more solid? And it's probably the most solid one I've showed you yet. When we go to out of possession, we drop into a 4-1-4-1. So it's all about making it make sense. The striker stays exactly where he is, the attacking midfielder drops back into central midfield, the playmaking winger, who will spend a lot of his time in there anyway, He drops back to work alongside in central midfield. Trincao will drop back to cover the left hand side, and everything else exactly the same. So are mad tactics the way to go? Probably not, but they are tons of fun to make, way more exciting than making a standard 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1. And the fact you can play around with the out of position stuff this year as well just makes it make a bit more sense. Especially as we wait for the bugs to get fixed on the UI before we do any deep dives into big saves, this has been a nice little distraction. And remember, all of these tactics featured today are used in FM24. I've just reloaded them into FM26, added the out of possession stuff, and we've had some decent success. There is a video on the channel telling you how to go about that. So all these tactics and many more are available for direct download on Patreon, but I'll stick a few of the team instructions up now for the ones featured today.